Hey, it's the Scotch Test Dummies. We got a trifecta coming from the Scotch Malt Whisky Society.
We love it. Let's test it.
We're going to test it, or at least one of it.
You don't have to do that every time. Let's test it.
Sorry.
All right, Scotch Malt Whisky Society.
Now, hold on. I wanted to at least, we were talking about doing this separate, and we got to figure out, and then I thought maybe we'd do these together. But
Yeah.
you were like, no, they deserve their own.
Sure. Why not?
Yes. We'll talk more about these later. This is a blended malt, also used to be called vatted malt.
Yes.
This is
The first one.
Bowmore.
The first blended malt that the Scotch Malt Whisky
Right.
Society has done. Just brought into the States. Had been available in Europe for a while. Just recently came into the States. We'll do that one at a separate time. We've got 3.296 Elegance and Power. It's an 18-year. We will do that one at a later date.
Which we looked up. That's Bowmore, right?
Bowmore.
Bowmore? God, I always try to say it right.
Just remember, the emphasis is on the more, as we're told.
Bowmore.
Yeah.
All right. And you know what else I like real quick? They broke, and this is colorful and stylish and different.
Yes.
More later.
Yep.
Because we're on this.
We are going to take a
poured.
66.95
No!
Sweet Reek. It's an 11-year-old bottled at 61%. They put on here, they tell you it's been in a refill hogshead and an ex-bourbon barrel. It's one of 264 bottles.
I love that. This is an 11-year. I like my peats younger. I love my peats. And it's a cask strength.
Two things from the back that I love with,
Really?
with their labeling.
Do it.
First of all, there's two labels.
Yeah.
On the top it says to leave no nose upturned.
Love that.
And on the bottom one it says not for swigging, glugging, or knocking back.
Thank you. They should also say or pouring into a syrupy drink mixture.
Now you can't. The thing is, you can go online, you can research, and you can see what the 66. Now, so it's 66.95. The 66 refers to the distillery.
Right.
The 95 refers to this is the 95th cask that they
Love that.
bought from that
I like
distillery.
that. I've got the codes.
We
on
won't
the
go into that,
cheat
but yeah, if
sheet.
you want to research and see what distillery made this, knock yourself out. The Scotch Malt Whisky Society is about the liquid that's in the bottle, taste it, enjoy it.
And the
What do you
independent
get?
bottling kind of deal. And in full disclosure, we retain all editorial control, but because we do the show, we were given like a what do you call it? An introductory membership or
honorary member.
Yeah, an honorary
members.
membership. So we pay for these bottles. I bought these bottles with our own money, with my own money, but we did get an honorary membership.
Yeah.
So, at least for a year. So that's full disclosure. Full editorial control is still with us. We will never give that up.
Scotch God, shout out. We almost got to moving too far.
We did. Now, you'll see, matter of fact, go look at the show that came out before this where we reviewed the Michter's. Okay, they had the toasted rye. And I talked about how I wanted to get in what was a kind of a negative, maybe a slightly just a twinge of negativity that came in on a comment. This one comes in. Can I read it better if I turn it? Yeah. Vesbulk, V-E-S, bulk. All right, so I'm going to read this verbatim. Oh, hey, don't move the picture. I gave up on this video. Now, which video was this? I know what it is. Okay, this is the one that just where we ate the crickets. So it was your Linkwood.
Oh, the Gordon and McPhail Linkwood 15.
Gordon McPhail Linkwood 15. And we talked, we wear funny hats on the show. By the way, these are brand new. Yeah, these are brand new hats.
We'll talk about these later.
Sure. I gave up on this video. Never give up on the dummies. I think the overlap of people interested in Scotch and others interested in board games, first of all, there's a lot, and Star Wars figurines, come on, funny hats, T-shirts, man kisses. All right, this is where you like, with all the Hollywood stuff going on, I can't believe you forced a man kiss on the cheek and you were prickly. And we're not even done. And eating bugs is pretty low. Your signal to noise ratio is getting mighty low. So once again, I just want to wrap this up again. Gave up on how do you give up on a video that has board games, scotch, Star Wars figurines, funny hats, t-shirts, man kisses, and eating bugs? That's a keeper, baby. But that's a keeper. But that's him. He thought our signal to ratio, I think he thinks we're just a Scotch review show.
Okay.
What do you think?
Well, I'd like to point out that in that video, I don't think we talked about Star Wars figurines.
But they were in the shop.
I don't think we talked about board games.
We didn't, actually. You're right.
I think our T-shirts were normal. You had on "Yo Mama is so fat."
True, which is a
we
little
didn't
bit
even
of
address
Star
it.
Wars.
I think maybe
I said I like your mama, and then you said fat.
And the bugs we ate were we did the review of the Scotch, and then at the end of the video we did the bugs. So you didn't even have to hang around.
But a fan sent those in. Jose sent them in and said, "Try this."
Vesbolk though goes on and comments. We replied, and then he comments. But what gets me about he in his second comment he comes in. He thinks we're helping George Soros demoralize the country.
What does he say? Yeah, well, you can just leave it at that. Yeah.
You can go look.
Right, you can go read the comments.
I don't know about that.
George Soros demoralized the country. Yeah, so okay. Fine. Yeah. All right, you can't please everybody all the time. Here's our goal again, and we can't change because this is really who it is. If you are literally, not virtually, sitting here, this is what you get.
Yeah.
You catch us on a Saturday evening. If you see the live show, you've seen it on Sunday, this is us. The whole idea is that you're sitting down, you're joining us. It's not about, Scott, today we are reviewing this bottle. Review's over. Cut! No, it's really about hanging out with us. Enough said. So, I'm glad you didn't give up on the video. It sounds like you've watched more than just one episode because we didn't go into board games and stuff. But it's all about the joy of the whiskey, the fun of the whiskey, and hanging out with us.
Telling stories. Sometimes we get off track.
Oh, that's part of the beauty. If anything, you keep it on track.
I try.
Right.
My best.
Although you could have offended him with that man kiss.
Yeah, could have been.
All right.
But that's where it ended. That's where it ended at. And first of all, we'd been drinking. That's my defense.
My mom got mad at me again.
Oh no.
Yeah. Apparently she was watching. She got mad at me when I did the apology video because she didn't know it was fake. And I told her, Mom, I was kind of teasing her a little bit, and she goes, I also saw a show where I think you consume too much. I think it was our rye shootout, I think, which I'm quite honest, we did. And enough said on that. I just said, sorry, Mom. You know, when you're 47 and your mom's 73 and she can still bust you, I think that's good. So I would just apologize. I said, sorry, Mom. Sorry.
Coin 119. Now
I went down a trail. 146.
We did pour this early, which we usually don't do, but since it was 61%, I wanted to kind of get it out there and let it get a little air.
All right. So this was my first. The Sweet Reek. All right, and the Elegance and Power were the first two bottles I purchased from the Scotch Malt Whisky Society. I saw Peaty, and I was like, must have. Okay, and I love the way they describe these.
Yeah, now they have a panel that sits down and comes up with the tasting notes and the names.
Yeah.
Now I'll tell you, my first note, and this is called Sweet Reek.
Yeah.
And Sweet Reek.
Yeah.
Like, wow, whoever came up with that's a genius.
Yeah, they're kind of like us. They just right from the cuff. What is it? Sweet Reek?
Because, Sweet Reek, literally, it's like a...
I get licorice, though. I get a black licorice.
Okay, I can see that. I've got vanilla, a sweetness like an orange juice.
Yeah. Well, I get a citrus. I don't know about orange juice.
Of course, the peat is there, and a salty brine moss.
Oh, a salty brine. I don't know if I thought moss. It's not what I would say would... It's not like what I thought. It's not a typical peat. You know, I don't know what I was thinking. I know it's there. The peat's definitely present. I think when I got it, I was thinking, I'm really used to the Ardbegg's meaty, heavy peaty. The Lefroy's got the strong smoke with a citrus underlay. And that's kind of what's neat with this. They're unique. They're special. They're different. And did we say 66? The distillery is, I'm blanking.
Well, we weren't going to address that. We told them if they wanted to go look it up, they could.
Oh, I thought we'd talk about it. Okay, never mind. Because I do know.
Because the Scotch Malt Whisky Society is about what's in the bottle.
True. All right, then go look it up. Sorry.
Yeah. I mean, it's not an Ardbeg or a Lafroig peat that comes
It's
up
not
and jumps out
from
of there.
Ardbeg or Lafroig. It just is kind of where I was headed. So and part of what the Scotch Malt Whisky Society talks about, which intrigued me the most, was that it encourages you to try things that you normally wouldn't try. That you're in your box a little bit. You're kind of on your tribe, Lafroig. And this encourages you to step out and just say, you know what, I'm trying it. I don't know what it is. And I like that fact of it. If I had a lot of money, I would get 2. One to keep, one to drink. I don't have a lot of money.
Maybe 2 to drink.
Woo. Maybe.
Boy, that is strong. 61%. A nice rich vanilla right up front. Kind of a medium peat. Really masked, though, with the sweetness and the other notes that come in there, the brininess, a light oak. And if you notice, I don't know if you can see it on screen, and I don't have as much as you do, it's really light.
It is.
11 years. And obviously they buy the barrels. They don't add color.
Yeah,
they don't chill filter.
That. Yeah.
It's as it comes out of the distillery.
So what strikes me the most on this, first of all, I'm going to start from the back first. The finish. The finish is smooth, it's lingering, and it's savory. It's got kind of like when you have a good barbecue, and you've It sound bad. You swallowed the meat, is what I was about to say. I'm just going to stick with it.
I see where you were going.
Yeah, I know. It just sounded bad, and I started to self-censor. I thought, never mind. And you still get the flavors, the smoke, and the warmth of that barbecue. And what I love about peat anyway is the finish just wafts and it floats and it lingers and it becomes subtle. Yet you can call it back. And it's the savoriness on the finish that I like about peats in general and that I really enjoy here. The forefront, let me go back. Go ahead.
Well, one thing I was going to touch on because we brought up the color of it. And one thing we generally don't address is the color, because the color, for the most part, doesn't mean anything. You can have something that's as pale as this and have as much flavor as what's in this.
Completely.
The Peat Monster from Compass Box was the first one that taught us that.
Yeah.
Coming out of the barrel, it was really pale. Bart didn't think it was going to be that much. And
I was a rookie and I was prejudging,
Boom.
which is exactly why some of these companies add color it. And I'm going, that's so light and pale. And it didn't matter. And that's what broke me right then and there of, oh, it needs to look a certain color?
Right.
Hell no.
Now, I will tell you,
what
though,
it is.
about the only time, though, if you have something that's been in a sherry cask and there's no color added, and you pour it and it's got that nice, rich, reddish tone.
I see why they
to
do
it, you know?
Right. A dark color looks like, wow, that just looks. You know, same deal bourbon. Bourbon has such color.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I added water to mine, so I'll come in here for a taste. Even at 61%, though, it really is delicious.
All right. You get, here's what I enjoy about this. Right off the bat, hold on. The very first taste is not a peat kicker. It's a little sweet underlayment. And then it like blossoms into this beautiful roof. The roof of my mouth is coated, and it gives me a slight floral hint, and the woodiness comes through. And then what's amazing and what's hard for me to even pin down here is then it moves into that beautiful peat. But in that middle zone is where I get a little bit of a sweet tar.
A sweet tar.
Yeah, I know. You do. You end up describing things with Pete that don't sound good. Like sweet tar. What are you talking about?
I've got to with the water. First splash of water that I added really brings out. I've got my those beautiful layers of citrus and smoke. Think pears and oranges and apples, kind of the lighter citrus.
God, I'm going to say sweet tar again. I was hoping to refine it.
Some roasted nuts are in there with it. I get a little bit of a pine or an evergreen.
Now you're looking at your own notes. I wanted to
Right.
say that you've made some notes on the side and you're just looking at them.
Yeah. And what I've got even in my notes, I sat down with this and I added a splash of water and took some notes, and then I added another splash, and it remained
bit of water.
it remained delicious throughout. And I've got it was like the Energizer Bunny. It just kept on going and going and going.
Sure.
For those that remember the Energizer Bunny.
Yeah, is that dead now? The millennials would be like, what's he talking about? What's the Energizer Bunny? What is that? Sweet tar, again, I was thinking it would switch up, but it's not. You get that chewiness with a sweetness and like a creosote and a tar that I get.
Okay, so keep in mind our cask, a refill hogshead, and an ex-bourbon. Your ex-bourbon cask is going to sometimes bring in, vanilla notes, caramel notes, maybe some cinnamon, some oak. And hogshead possibly had sherry in it. A sherry hogshead, possibly bringing in some of those.
They would say that, wouldn't they?
No.
Oh.
No, even the other one we did, that 21-year-old that we got for the tasting was single malt alliance.
Because hogshead's just a different size.
Yeah, but most of the times it could have different things in it. Most times there's sherry hogshead.
So I'm used to those huge sherry butts.
Yeah, sherry butts.
Right.
Yeah.
But all right.
I'm not really getting any of the darker sherry notes though. That could be bringing in just a lighter citrus sweetness. I think it's very well done. The peat, and the smoke, and the citrus and the sweetness on this one. It's a nice melding.
You know what? And their descriptions are so interesting. I didn't get a lot of this, but it's worth saying. So they describe pink wafer biscuits. I don't even know what pink wafer biscuits are. I'm sure it's a Scottish thing. Turkish delight, yes. Wrapped with gentle smoke. Yeah, the smoke in here is gentle. Violets, red roses, and apple blossom with malt extract and sticky cough mixture. And I kind of see that when I describe creosote. Mouth coating, yes. Licorice sweets, yes. Overcooked black currant jam, never had it. And considerably spiced haggis, never had it. A finish of sweet smoke and pork crackling. I think that's good. That is, and I love, again, whatever group individuals describing that is great. What did you score it, sir?
92.
The chupacabra's barking. It's noon. 92, I concur. I agree.
Okay.
Is it worth it? God, I want to.
I think this one was 110.
Yeah, I was going to say. Yeah, I thought it was. I think they were both 110, if I remember right.
Yeah. The problem is by the time you add on shipping and tax, it starts to add up.
It does.
So your $110 bottle has now become $150.
Right, and shipping. Yeah, well, you said shipping and tax. Sorry.
Yeah, shipping and tax.
Yeah, yeah.
But and bottles from the Scotch Malt Whisky Society cost more here than they do in Europe because there's a tax on the ABV, or the more alcohol that's in the bottle, the higher taxes they have to pay. Supposedly, that's what we've heard.
That's true.
So,
that's what I heard.
So do we want to assess this as a $110 bottle? That's the price.
Yeah, overall, which is why I bought two.
Or do you
I figure the shipping. You figure it's probably actually like 150.
You ordered 2 bottles at the same time, so shipping and split shipping and tax.
I know. I bet
Let's
you
say
it's about
130.
150. No, it was a little more than that. I'd say it's.
But for both bottles, right?
130, 270. Yeah, okay. We can do with that.
Split shipping and tax. So say 130.
130.
Yes.
It's a unique experience. I wish I had more money. I would buy more because it does get close. For my budget, it really does kind of butt up to what, and it's that blindness that you're buying it not quite knowing. And you haven't even been able to, like, we'll get samples of stuff sometimes, and I'm like, oh my God, and I'll pay $180 for something. But you are diving in blind, and that's part of the joy, part of the rush, and also part of the like, I'm nervous. So yeah, I would say it's worth it. One of the things I'm noticing so far with the peated things from Scotch Malt Whisky Society, and I'm still very new, is that I like my peats young. I like a strong peat punch. And a lot of their bottles, rightfully so, are older. Now, this one's 11 years. And the older your peat gets, the more subtle it is, the more nuanced, really, the more kind of advanced it is. I mean, the more there's hints of this and that and the other, which is exactly where it should be. But a lot of my peat palate is punch in the face. And so I've passed on a few peated bottles that I've seen advertised because they're 18 years and they're even more expensive. And what I usually find is not only is the price, and I know we're not on this bottle, but not only is the price going up, but the peat gets more subtle. So they're moving away from me with that one.
Yeah, it can. Yeah.
It can.
Generally
Yeah.
what happens.
So, but again, back on this bottle, yes, worth it. Pleased I bought it. We can talk more later, but I enjoyed this one. I got two of them, and I would definitely say out of the two, I like this one more. But we can get into that when we review the other one. Maybe we'll pull them both out at the same time.
Okay, so we scored it. Is it worth it?
Did I say?
Traveling.
Yeah, I said 92 as well. Traveling
dummies.
Yeah, we got a great, and he sent in a couple, and we're going to try to feature him a few times.
Dwayne Large.
Dwayne Large. Is it spelled Large?
He is.
Oh.
It is. He is.
He
it
is. Not yes. He is large.
Dwayne had ordered some coins for us from us and a Glencairn. He was obviously before he was going on a trip to Scotland
because he has the coins. Yeah.
He stayed on Isla. It looks
got
like
the shirt too.
Love the peat.
Love the peat.
Love the peat.
First of all, he and I are kindred spirits, and I want to say this: not only is his last name Large, he looks like a strong.
He looks
fella.
like a big guy.
Looks like he works out.
Yep.
I mean that like he looks stout,
tall.
And tall.
Yes.
Stout and tall.
You and him would get along.
We could hang out. We would both be drinking. First of all, we could share this bottle and he'd be like, thank you. And I'd be like, thank you.
But one of the pictures from Dwayne is at the Lefroy distillery.
And we wanted to show it. Even though this is in Lefroy, we wanted to pop that up there. Great shot. That's the iconic Lefroy wall right near the coast. Well, it's obviously right near the seashore. You can see it. And they've got Lefroy on that whitewashed wall. I can't wait to be there myself. Thank you, Large, for letting us go there virtually. I love the name. All right.
Thanks everybody for all the support, all the views, all the clicks, all the thumbs up.
Check us out on Patreon if you want to help us out. We'll always keep the show free, but those on Patreon help us actually keep the show running. Do you want to say something?
Visit Scotch. Well, go to ScotchTestDummies.com. You can buy a coin. I've got 119. You had 146. You might get that one.
Number.
We've got our Glencairns for sale. You can buy a T-shirt, a sweatshirt, a long sleeve shirt, short sleeve shirt,
the shirt,
all kinds of stuff. Yeah. We've recently added. We've got the hats. We don't know we don't know if they'll be for sale yet or not by the time this video posts.
Maybe. Probably.
So
probably $25.
Christmas is coming up. Keep us in mind.
Right.
You know, your loved one needs some Scotch Test Dummies
They
gear.
need to protect their head.
Yep. Well, shirt, coin, glass, hat.
You know what we should do?
What?
We should Scotch it, you Scotch. Am I pointing at him? Yeah. You Scotch gods.
Cilantro.
Dummies. Good. You just spoke to like a fan. They were like, why does he do that every time? He just said, don't do it every time. We forgot to do a thing for your freeze frame, too. I was going to do with that when we had the Victors. All right.